tackle question. Yesterday, Blessed Geza did another. It was pre-recorded, whereby he was mentioning that Mnangagwa has actually moved his ducks and brought into his pocket some of the top military commanders, though Blessed Geza was not privy or comfortable during that particular period of time to name them. He named a few, but did not name the top military commanders. And also, I think I would not try to be a prophet and name them for you. But what he put out there in the public domain is that Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa and his Zikanangas, they are paying top military commanders monies ranging from 35,000 to around 10,000 monthly. I'm talking about the United States dollars. Whilst also stressing that the ordinary soldier in Zimbabwe remains hungry. The meat they are fed, it's substandard meat. They don't have food. They are struggling but expected to defend the territorial integrity of Zimbabwe. Now, the question is, are measures initiated by Emmerson Mnangagwa and the Zikanangas to bribe the top military commanders with monies as well as vehicles and other goodies going to neutralize Blessed Geza? I will be tackling this question. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Panic Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we be live, guess what, you become the very first one to watch us. For those who comment on this channel, please do indicate where you are coming from. It will be interesting to see where actually our viewers are derived from. So, Blessed Geza yesterday indicated that Mnangagwa, as a counter strategy or as a counter intelligence to what Blessed Geza and the team are seeking to do, which is to remove Emmerson Mnangagwa, he has actually bribed some of the top commanders within the Zimbabwe forces. He named a few, but declined to name some of the top ones who are getting monies. And surprisingly, in the list, Blessed Geza also names Opam Chinguri, that she is also pocketing 35,000 from Zikanangas. So the question of raising the corruption that is exercised on Mchinguri, what was Blessed Geza trying to show us? It means also the Minister of Defense was once working with Blessed Geza, but she has been brought. She has been bought and now she has actually flipped to the other side. That is the side of Emmerson Mnangagwa. We have seen him going to the Prikepu farm and also singing loudly on 2030. So how Blessed Geza's revolution has been affected, summarily affected, is that Emmerson Mnangagwa has actually made some moves and used the money with his Zikanangas to actually place in their pockets the senior military commanders, the Minister of the Defense Forces. I never thought that she was also a part of the plot, because being named by Blessed Geza that she is also bribed, as well as the permanent secretary within Zimbabwe Defense Forces. She is also given FT salary on a monthly basis, whilst the people who do the actual job, that is the Zimbabwe Defense Forces junior military personnel, remember the commanders are just to send them to the streets, go and actually pursue this intervention, but they don't necessarily go themselves. These are people with big tummies who just command the young ones, the junior ones, to do the dirty work. They don't do the dirty work. Exactly what Blessed Geza was saying. So is this going to actually make it a point that Mnangagwa reaches 2030 as the president, I strongly don't believe so. Remember, during the tenure of Robert Gabriel Mugabe, it's a good case study. They say history determines the future. In order to understand how future may actually unfold, it's very, very pertinent to go to history, to what happened in the previous coup. The Minister of Defense was on G40 faction. He was supporting the G40 faction, although not vocal, but he was the strongest ally of Robert Gabriel Mugabe, and was tipped to take over from Robert Gabriel Mugabe. That is Sidney Sekeramai. Remember, in 2017, when the coup took place, Mnangagwa was no longer the Minister of Defense. He was promoted into the Vice Presidency, and the Minister of Defense was Sidney Sekeramai. Why Sidney Sekeramai, after the coup, was never given a position, only being told, no, you are now a senior member of ZANU-PF, leading a group of elders, no position in government. It is because Mnangagwa understood that he was working with Robert Gabriel Mugabe. He was in the faction of Robert Gabriel Mugabe, but not always vocal. But just imagine the commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces managed to get rid of Robert Gabriel Mugabe, even though the minister in the Defense Forces was in the pocket of Robert Gabriel Mugabe. And most probably some of the commanders have been actually bribed to be part of Robert Gabriel Mugabe faction. But still, Robert Gabriel Mugabe was dislodged. So that does not mean anything. The fact that Blessed Geza has those details and he knows that some of the military generals have been brought. So what are the consequences of this? Definitely now the Blessed Geza faction has to go back to the drawing board. But he said, remember, in summation, especially in the English version of his speech, he said, thanks God, there is the progressive force. It will make sure that Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa goes. That is what he said, and he never actually spoke a lot about that progressive force, who is part of that progressive force within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. And we've been told that even though Mnangagwa is making all these maneuvers to change the military chief of staff, to change some of the commanders, so that he put people who are loyal to him and people who are enemies, sworn enemies of retired General Chiwenga, in an attempt to try and stop any coup taking place in Zimbabwe. But, you know, I think he doesn't. I'm of the opinion this has been planned a long time ago. Blessed Geza going into hiding and deciding to confront Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa head on. It means already the plan has been sealed, and most probably those who are planning, in any war that you fight, expect to be betrayed at some point. In any war that you fight, expect to be betrayed at some point. So this is what exactly is happening within ZANU-PF. Remember, we are explaining the ZANU-PF succession. Succession is actually ongoing at the moment. But obviously, it will not go according to expectations and anticipations of the desperate people of Zimbabwe who wants to see action there and there. That is why Blessed Geza said, with these developments, what you need to do now, you need to be very, very patient. We are going to deal with these Zwikanangas. We are going to remove them. So maybe that is why you saw Mnangagwa going to Moscow, because they know that they have considerably put or placed some of the military generals in their pockets. But is the Blessed Geza revolution a lost cause? It is still early to make that conclusion. It is still, I'll be very, very honest with you. People, let's go again to history. when did the Chiwengas and your Mnangagwas started to plot against Robert Gabriel Mugabe? We started hearing this around 2005. 2005, and this was eventually implemented in 2017. So I'm not saying this is the period that is going to take for Mnangagwa to be removed. Obviously, there are military generals, because really, essentially, Mnangagwa has done more harm than anyone could imagine. There is, I'm telling you, an overwhelmingly high number of the military personnel who are against Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, but we have not come out openly for obviously security reason. We have seen military generals dying like flies, which have been sprayed with a chemical since 2017 up to today. So definitely in this struggle, you need to tread carefully. But I mean, the project of removing Mnangagwa, in my view, it is in motion, it is ongoing. How long it will take, I'm not a prophet. I don't want to attempt to be part of the group of the false prophets. But as long as it will take, Mnangagwa will go. I have predicted that I don't foresee him finishing his term. The last time I said I don't foresee him finishing this year. So I'm still within the range. Let's watch as the events unfold. We will keep you and understanding what is at stake at the moment in the Zimbabwean politics. A very, very complex discourse, actually. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Please do remember to press the join button and be part of our members who are supporting this channel financially. You can choose a package there. We call our members liberators. We believe this channel, the role that is going to be played by this channel, it is going to contribute in terms of the total liberation of the people of Zimbabwe. Somehow. It would not be liberated by maybe this revolution, but we will advance for democracy and the will of the people. So you can also support this channel financially by pressing the thanks button and send us also stars. Once again, thank you very much.